Miranda Lambert has sometimes been labeled as entitled for the way she addresses fans. However, her raw authenticity and powerful voice have left a lasting impact on those who hear her music. Her remarkable talent allows her to perform songs that tackle difficult topics such as domestic violence, heartbreak, and self-empowerment with profound emotional intensity, enabling her to connect deeply with her audience. This unique ability to draw on her personal experiences has set her apart from others. As we delve into Miranda's journey, we catch a glimpse of the struggles that lie beneath the glamorous surface of her life in the world of music and fame. Born on November 10, 1983, in Longview, Texas, Miranda Lee Lambert was named after her great-grandmother. Her father, Rick Lambert, had been a Dallas police officer in the 1970s, as well as a guitarist and songwriter with his own country rock group, the Conch Band. After Miranda was born, Rick and his wife, Bev, launched a private detective business in Longview, where they raised her. Skilled in their work, Rick and Bev soon achieved success, and by the time Miranda was 7, she occasionally joined them on special cases. Life was stable for the family, who built a new home, had a second child, and kept livestock on their property. However, the Texas oil crash later in that decade devastated the economy, affecting the family deeply. As work dried up, they eventually lost nearly everything and were forced to move to Lindale, a smaller town chosen by Bev for its good school system. Settling into their new life, Bev rented farmland for their animals and enrolled Miranda in first grade. While her children adapted, Rick struggled. He was deeply affected by the family's losses, leading him to bouts of depression. He traveled to Dallas in search of work, but with limited success. The family had to rent a small, rodent-infested house, which they worked hard to make livable. Bev took Miranda to school each day and returned to tend to their animals, praying daily for stability. After a few months, her prayers were answered when a preacher offered them a larger farmhouse at a lower rent, provided she helped with renovations. Shortly after, Rick and Bev secured work on a high-profile investigation for the lawyers representing Paula Jones in her case against Bill Clinton. Over 2.5 years, they gathered evidence that eventually led to Clinton's subpoena. The success of this job enabled Rick and Bev to establish a faith-based ministry, where they opened their home as a refuge for domestic violence victims and their children. Reflecting on her upbringing, Miranda later noted that while her friends had fancy homes and amenities, their farmhouse was humble but inviting, creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere for everyone. Even as a student, Miranda's commitment shone through. While her grades were average, she was active in her church band. When she was 10, her father took her to a Garth Brooks concert, which left a strong impression on her. She returned, telling her father she wanted to perform like that someday. Though she had only sung in church, Rick encouraged her to learn guitar. When she was 14, he even got her a guitar, though she initially had little interest, preferring cheerleading and other teenage pursuits. High school came with its share of challenges, including struggles with self-esteem and appearance. She dressed plainly in loose jeans and t-shirts, wearing no makeup, and felt hideous. Despite her insecurities, the love and support of her family helped her navigate these tough years. Growing up with her brother Luke, she experienced both affection and resilience, bolstered by her parents' often intense work as private investigators. Though they faced no physical threats, the emotional demands of the job had a lasting effect on both Miranda and her brother, ultimately strengthening them. By 16, Miranda had enough confidence to pursue her passion for singing. When she heard a radio advertisement for the True Value Country Showdown, she expressed interest, and her parents helped her record 2 of her father's original songs for the competition. Although she didn't win, the positive feedback inspired her to keep going. Her professional debut came soon after, on the Johnny High Country Music Review in Arlington, Texas, a show that had also launched LeAnn Rimes' career. Following this, she attended a music seminar, which led her to Nashville to record a demo. The experience, however, proved disheartening. She was only allowed to record pop songs, which she found cheesy and uninspiring. Frustrated, she cried in the studio, realizing her true artistic path lay elsewhere. Her father had spent $6,000 on the demos, which strained their finances, but he viewed it as a valuable lesson. Shortly afterward, Miranda returned home and asked her father to teach her to play guitar so she could start writing her own songs. Songwriting quickly became a natural outlet for her. Reflecting on her newfound skill, she later said, "It's the only thing that's ever come naturally to me." In high school, Miranda formed her own band, the Texas Pride Band, which landed its first professional gig at the Gypsy Tea Room in Dallas. She soon became the house performer at the Rio Palm Isle Ballroom in Longview, nearly 45 miles from her home. She played 4 hours a night, 3 nights a week, often getting home around 4 a.m., only to wake up for school the next morning. Miranda recalled that her parents were taken aback by her intense passion for music, but they wholeheartedly supported her, setting aside everything to help her pursue her dreams. She quickly absorbed songs and learned how to handle both fans and unruly crowds, calling it a crash course that forced her to adapt rapidly. Despite her newfound dedication, she admitted that uncertainty about her future weighed on her, explaining, "I would tell my 17-year-old self that it's all going to be okay." Her mother soon began researching talent competitions, eventually finding one in Dallas. This opportunity led to a contract with an agency that got Miranda a small role in a Ruffles potato chip commercial and a part in the 2011 comedy, Slap Her, She's French. In Nashville, Miranda narrowly missed the role of Tammy Wynette in Stand By Your Man, coming in second out of 400 competitors. That same year, she released her self-titled debut album, featuring 10 tracks funded by her father for $2,000. Her brother Luke created a website to sell the CD, while her mother drove her to radio stations and clubs to promote her music and secure bookings. The family even purchased a motorhome equipped with a sound system and a trailer for her equipment. After graduating high school early, Miranda fully committed to her music career, calling it her version of college, remarking, "I can't study in a book what I've learned just being out there and doing it." Initially, breaking into the music scene was challenging, as many club owners doubted the draw of female performers, expecting her to sing traditional country ballads. "I don't do that," she said, emphasizing her identity as a guitarist and songwriter. Touring extensively around Texas in 2002, Miranda achieved some success by placing 2 songs from her CD on the Texas music charts. In early 2003, she entered another talent competition, winning the Texas auditions for the nationally televised Nashville Star show. This marked a significant moment for her, as she moved to Nashville for the first time to participate in the series. Out of 8,000 contestants, she finished third. During her time on the show, Sony music executive Tracy Gerson noticed her talent and persuaded the label to sign her. On September 15, 2003, Miranda became a Sony artist. Grateful for the opportunity, she credited the show with accelerating her career, saying, "I always say that Nashville Star saved me from 5 more years in the honky-tonks." However, she admitted to being terrified of signing the recording contract, fearing the label might strip her of her unique sound and style, producing songs that fit a typical Nashville mold. Determined to maintain her artistic integrity, Miranda approached her first meeting with Sony executives with clear terms. She explained, "I sat down at the head of the table, crossed my hands, and said, 'Okay, this is who I am.'" She made it clear she wouldn't conform to typical industry expectations, asserting her dedication to guitar playing and her songwriting style. She told them, "If I can't make a record that reflects me honestly, I'd rather just go home and play in Texas." With her heart pounding, she awaited their response. To her surprise, John Grady, a Sony executive, encouraged her to go make your record. True to his word, the label allowed her creative freedom, and in the summer of 2004, Miranda released her debut album, Kerosene, containing 11 tracks that she either wrote or co-wrote. Her lead single, Me and Charlie Talking, was co-written by her father and Heather Little. No one interfered in the studio, and when she presented the final tracks, Sony responded with enthusiastic approval. Reflecting on her experience, Miranda expressed amazement, calling it almost unbelievable. The album debuted at #1 on Billboard's Top Country Albums chart and was later certified platinum by the RIAA, having sold over 1 million copies. The album produced 4 top 40 singles, including the title track, which became a top 20 hit. In 2005, Miranda went on tour with country stars like Keith Urban, Dierks Bentley, and Toby Keith. She also received the CoverGirl Fresh Face of Country Music Award at the 40th Academy of Country Music Awards and was nominated for the Country Music Association's Horizon Award that year. Her second album, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, was released on May 1, 2007. Miranda wrote 8 of the album's 11 tracks, including 4 singles. The New Yorker praised her talent and charisma, comparing her to Dolly Parton, another underestimated blonde talent. However, she faced a setback as her songs struggled to get airplay on country radio. It frustrated her that her singles didn't reach higher than number 15 on Billboard's Hot Country chart, a mystery that baffled her. "I really don't understand radio at all," she admitted. She refused to compromise her style, even though she was frustrated, saying, "If I did anything differently, I wouldn't be me, so I'm not going to." Greg Sweetberg, a program director at country station Key, confirmed her talent, stating that she was one of the most talented female artists and that Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was an excellent record. He suspected that anyone who bought the album would be pleased, though he didn't consider any of the songs to be a hit. In his words, he said, "I hear 11 really good songs, but I don't think there's a giant anthem." The track, Gunpowder and Lead, struck him as one of the grittiest songs he had ever heard in any genre, which he loved, but he didn't believe it had the potential to become a #1 record, calling it too angry. Despite the album's songs not topping the country radio charts, Miranda Lambert received a Grammy Award nomination for Best Female Country Vocal Performance for her single, Kerosene, and went on to win the Top New Female Vocalist Award at the 2007 Academy of Country Music Awards. At the following year's award show, her second album, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, earned the title of Album of the Year. A year later, on September 29, 2009, Miranda released her third album, Revolution. She co-wrote 11 of the album's 15 tracks, collaborating with other writers such as Dave Haywood and Charles Kelly of Lady Antebellum, along with Blake Shelton. Upon its release, Revolution received high praise from outlets like Rolling Stone, Boston Globe, and Slant Magazine. Entertainment Weekly hailed it as the best mainstream country album of the year. She debuted her new single, Dead Flowers, at the 44th Annual Academy of Country Music Awards on April 5, 2009, before releasing it a month later. The song became a top 40 hit, while the album's second single, White Liar, released on August 17, debuted at number 50 on the US Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. By February 2010, White Liar had reached number 2 on the chart, marking Miranda's first top 5 hit. The album's third single, The House That Built Me, came out the following month and quickly became her first number 1 song on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, holding the top spot for 4 weeks and earning an RAA Platinum certification on July 8. This accomplishment was a major milestone in her career, yet her success continued. The album's fourth single, Only Prettier, and its accompanying music video, featuring cameos from fellow country artists Kelly Pickler, Laura Bell Bundy, and Hillary Scott of Lady Antebellum, gained viral attention. By December, Only Prettier had peaked at number 12 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, giving Miranda her 7th top 20 hit. She then released the album's 5th and final single, Heart Like Mine, which reached number 1 on the country charts, becoming her second chart-topping hit by the end of 2010. That year, Miranda broke records by receiving 9 CMA Award nominations. She performed at the 44th Annual Country Music Association Awards, winning the CMA Award for Female Vocalist of the Year, and her album, Revolution, won Album of the Year. Early the following year, she secured a Grammy Award for Best Female Country Vocal Performance with The House That Built Me. In 2012, she embarked on a new venture, joining forces with Ashley Monroe and Angelina Presley to form the girl group Pistol Annies. They released their single, Hell on Heels, in May, followed by their debut album of the same name, which debuted at number 1 on Billboard's country chart. On February 8, 2012, Miranda made her acting debut on NBC's long-running drama, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, in an episode titled, Father's Shadow. Though this marked her first role on screen, she later expressed that she was simply a fan of the show and didn't aspire to pursue acting. In her words, "I never wanted to act. I still don't. I don't want to be an actress, I just wanted to be on that show mainly so I could be a groupie for their autographs." True to her word, she returned to music and released her 5th album, Platinum, in 2014. 2 years later, she released her 6th studio album, The Weight of These Wings, along with the 3rd Pistol Annies album. In March 2016, she expanded her international presence, headlining the Country to Country Music Festival in Europe, where she performed alongside Dwight Yoakam, Thomas Rhett, and Ashley Monroe, touring through England, Scotland, and Ireland. Upon her return, her seventh album, Wildcard, was released in 2019. It went on to earn nominations for both ACM and CMA Album of the Year and later won the 2021 Grammy Award for Best Country Album. In 2021, she collaborated with longtime friends John Randall and Jack Ingram to release The Marfa Tapes, which received widespread acclaim, with critics considering it her best work to date. She followed this success by releasing her ninth studio album, Palomino, and a Christmas album with Pistol Annies. Despite her successful career, Miranda has also faced personal ups and downs. She first met singer Blake Shelton at the CMT 100 Greatest Duets concert in 2005 and provided backup vocals for his rendition of Michael Bublé's Home, which became a hit on the country charts. After dating for 4 years, Blake proposed in 2010 near her Tishomingo, Oklahoma, home, and the two were married on May 14, 2011, at Don's Strange Ranch in Boerne, Texas. The wedding was attended by guests like Dierks Bentley, Laura Bell Bundy, Katherine Hagel, Josh Kelly, Reba McEntire, Kelly Clarkson, and Dierks Bentley. However, after 4 years of marriage, the couple announced their divorce on July 20, 2015, releasing a joint statement acknowledging the difficulty of the decision and requesting privacy. Following her divorce, Miranda had other relationships before revealing, on January 26, 2019, that she had married Brendan McLoughlin in a private ceremony. Sharing the news on Instagram with heartwarming photos from their wedding, she wrote, "My heart is overflowing. Thank you, Brendan McLoughlin, for loving me for me." Brendan brought a young son from a previous relationship into their marriage, making Miranda a stepmother. Embracing her evolving life and family, Miranda continued her creative pursuits. In 2023, she co-authored a cookbook titled You'll Eat Yet? Welcome to the Pretty Bee in a Kitchen with Holly Glisson for Day Street Books. That year, she also made a significant career shift, leaving Sony Music Nashville after 19 years to sign with Republic Records and Big Loud in April 2024. She announced that her first single under the new label, Wranglers, would be released on May 3, 2024, as the lead single from her upcoming 10th studio album, Postcards from Texas. In June 2024, she released the promotional single, Damn It Randy, co-written with her husband. Miranda has come a long way, from a young girl with big dreams to a resilient woman who has faced heartbreak without losing her spirit. As she enters this new chapter with Brendan, her fans eagerly anticipate the next stage of her journey and all she has yet to achieve.